There are so many times I have spoken about handmade soaps. Like, handmade soaps are so dear to my heart, and there are so many reasons for that, and hence the reason why I decided to put out this video on how to make handmade soaps. Okay, the difference between your handmade soaps or my handmade soaps and the commercial soaps you go buy in the stores is the fact that our own handmade soaps have their super fat in them. You might want to ask, what is super fat? Okay, basically, soap making, the cold process soap making, saponification process actually has to do with three things. It has to do with the lye, which is the caustic soda, and then water, and eventually oils. Now, when these three ingredients come together, of course, there's a process of bringing them together. They don't just come together like that, and with proper accurate measurements. Yeah. And they come together, and then the process of them binding together forms a soap, and that soap is, of course, the handmade soap using the saponification process. Now, when that three ingredients come together, the byproduct of soap making is usually vegetable glycerin, yeah, which is a humectant. Yeah, your same vegetable glycerin that is from the formation of is from natural oils actually. Yeah, the process of saponification. So commercial soaps, they take out that vegetable glycerin, which we refer to most of the time as the super fat. They take it out and of course sell it for other products, other uses in other products, right? But we, the handmade soap makers, we do not take out that humectant value, which we refer to as super fat. Yeah, so the reason why we refer to it as super fat is because it's the byproduct of those fatty oils, most of the time plant oils. I'm going to come with a video that has to do with using animal oil, that is the tallow. But that's by the way. Today's video is on using the plant oils. I do not have the tallow though for sale, though. Is this something I want to try out myself and all of us to just watch and all of that? But basically, I work with plant oils, and in this video I'm going to state clearly, step by step, how I do this. Now, first and foremost, I measure my caustic soda. Caustic soda is also having a chemical formula, NaOH, yeah, and it is actually a chemical substance, but when added in soap making and going by the saponification process, just watch the end of the video and you will realize how these chemical products will eventually become natural after cohabiting and existing with other ingredients. All right, a solvent is needed, which is water obviously, and then there's going to be measurement of water, or it is happening as you're seeing in the video, where there's the combination of the caustic soda and then the water, and therefore we have a solution. Is that not so? So this solution is going to be set aside and allowed to cool down. Yes, I do not advise making soap with hot with temperature. I don't know if I'm trying to say, as long as it's cold. It is called a cold process soap. It is only the hot process soap that you need that temperature. But for honestly, for cold process making, there's really no need for working with temperature, because, and there's something I noticed, especially when soap making, cold process soap making is done with temperature involved, like when they cook. Because as soon as, one very key thing to take note of is that as soon as the lye comes in contact with the water, it becomes very, very hot. You know, it gets as hot as even 85 degrees Celsius, as being very close to even a boiling water. Could it burn? Yes, it could burn. I remember the first time I started making soap, I went to use a plastic spoon. It melted it like fire, and I'm like, ooh, really? And that was when I was forced to know what exactly is the temperature of this solution, only for me to find out it was as high as 85 degrees Celsius. What? So it's something that has to be, you have to be walk around very careful, set it aside to cool down, if possible to room temperature. Honestly, like, that's what I do. My oils as well. Now, these are the selection of oils, and my selections of oils are actually intentional. If you're an oldie here, or even if you're not an oldie, you're a newbie, you can just go back, watch my old videos of soap making. I don't know if I've moved my DIYs to my membership section. I'm not too sure, but I'll check whatever videos I have for soap making. I'll still drop it in the description area for you to look at. Like I said, I work with plant oils, okay, and this selection of oils are done strategically. What do I mean by they are done strategically? They are done in order to have a value of 100%, and the selection of oils for soap making comes in 3 categories. We have the soft oil, yeah, we have the hard oils, and then we have the conditioning oils. Now that's a whole lot, and hence the reason why I told you handmade soaps are awesome. Yes, we know that we cannot cleanse and moisturize at the same time, but basically handmade soaps do not tamper with your oil's natural sebum, so therefore it's not going to strip your skin, unlike the other bar soaps that you buy in the market that I told you the super fattening has been taken out of them. So you're just giving a highly cleansing bar soap. As to our own handmade soaps that are cleansing but as well as not moisturizing and nourishing to the skin, like I said to you, we have conditioning oils, which of course will help with softening of the skin. So now I have 3 oils of choices that I chose, which is the sunflower oil, the palm kernel oil, and then the shea butter oil. The soap I'm making today is the oatmeal soap, and this is how my packaging goes, and this is the ingredient list as stated. The sunflower oil, then there's water, then there's palm kernel oil, then there's shea butter, then there's oatmeal powder, then there's sodium hydroxide, which is also the lye, and then there's citric acid, then there's kojic dipalmitate, and then there's titanium dioxide. Trust me, all of these ingredients that I just stated here are exactly the same thing I use in my soap making, like no ish. Though I have different variants. I have another variant of activated charcoal. So in place of this oatmeal powder that I said here, what is being substituted is the activated charcoal. I have another one of cocoa soap. Yeah, cocoa. Our popular cocoa. So obviously where there's that either the oatmeal or whatever variant is usually stated, here too is the same thing. So that is why when people come to buy soap, I tell them that you can use everything, because the structure and the process of making the soap is the same. It's just that they say variety is the choice of life. So that is why I sort of put in some variants, although that of the activated charcoal is because I wanted to have an exfoliating property. Yeah, this is an exfoliating soap. It's even stated clearly there. Yeah, it's an exfoliating soap, obviously because of the granules of the activated charcoal, but these other ones are just good soaps for bathing. Yeah, all right, they're just good cleansing bar soaps, handmade bar soaps. So basically I'm starting with my sunflower oil, then measuring it, then over to my palm kernel oil, then eventually my conditioning oil of choice happened to be butters, and I use shea butter specifically. I used to use other butters like cocoa butter, mango butter, and avocado butter, but the economy is not smiling, so I decided to stick to like one of the cheapest butter here in Africa, even though now gradually it's becoming very expensive, but that's by the way. And then afterwards I prefer to set the oils aside, and then of course, not even I don't have to prefer it, that is the right way to do it, then set it aside as well, meanwhile monitoring the solution of the lye and water to make sure it comes down to room temperature, of course if possible a similar temperature to the oils obviously. Then I would now homogeneously mix the oils. Now at this point, whatever variant I decided to add, if it's going to be activated charcoal, if it's going to be oats, if it's going to be cocoa, if it's going to be pink hibiscus, whatever I'll be adding at that moment, or it's going to be turmeric. I also have a turmeric soup as well. Yeah, so I will be adding it straight into the oils and then mixing everything together. Yeah, as kind of homogeneous. There's going to be a very good mix so that whatever added into the oil will mix up properly. Now at that moment, I also melted my shea butter and mixed it with my kojic dipalmitate, because kojic dipalmitate, being a derivative of kojic acid, usually is an oil soluble ingredient. So I normally dissolve it inside my oils, like preferably my shea butter, because before I use my shea butter I usually melt it. So in the midst of melting it, I decide to mix it together with it, which I didn't show, actually I didn't film. I have classes if you're interested in learning how to make soap. Yeah, professional courses, go ahead. I'll drop my WhatsApp number in the description space. There's also my email, you can also contact me, and then we can begin to discuss. All right, now moving on. After mixing the oils homogeneously, I am now adding the lye, the solution. Don't forget it has been set aside, right? So it's at a proper temperature. So I am mixing it together with the oils. Now this is where boom, saponification process has begun. Yes, as soon as possible. So after mixing, and look at the mixing process, it's not like sort of a continuous mixing. No, it's a little bit of mixing here and there. Just as a professional, you know what to do. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I now use my molds. Your choices of mold is your choices of mold. I have different molds though, but this is the one I chose for this soap. Yeah, so I'm just putting it inside the mold. Now in this mold is going to sit for 18 to 24 hours before I unmold it, right? And then when I unmold it, that soap is not ready for use yet. It's going to be ready for use between 4 to 6 weeks. Now why is it going to happen that way? Like at the beginning I told you something about chemical, about caustic soda or sodium hydroxide being a chemical. Now because it's a chemical and we want it to convert from chemical to non-chemical to natural, yeah, so hence the reason why you should allow it sit for 4 to 6 weeks. At that moment the saponification process we complete properly, where everything merged together, and then the next stage that we follow is the curing stage. Now handmade soaps need to cure before you use them. Handmade cold process handmade soap, hot ones can be used almost immediately, right? But the cold process ones needs to cure within 4 to 6 weeks in order for the chemical effects of the caustic soda, that is the lye, to completely dissolve, to completely go away. Do you understand? Because when you do not wait for that 4 to 6 weeks mark, there is high tendency that when you use that soap, it's going to irritate your skin, because the chemical effect of the caustic soda, yeah, also known as sodium hydroxide or lye, is still active. So within that 4 to 6 weeks range, it has merged improperly with the combination of your oils and your water, and it is no longer a chemical compound. It is now natural. And then hence you are left with a beautiful handmade soap, cold process saponification method that will not strip your skin. And it is a very awesome soap that you can use, especially when you have passed that age of 30 where your lipid barrier has dropped, because at this point you're not looking for things to strip the skin. Yeah, you're looking for things to nurture the skin. Hence there was a video I spoke about moisturizer, and I said that sometimes, yeah, what do you use on your skin before moisturizing? The cleansing product you use on your skin, either a soap, a bar soap, or a liquid soap, you know, can also affect the moisturizing effect of your moisturizers. Because when you're using something that will really strip your skin for cleansing purposes before moisturizing, if your moisturizer does not have the quality formula, yeah, to sustain your skin, you're going to have problems. So the problem can even stem from the cleansing products you're using to start with, because when you also use liquid soaps like hot processed soap, you understand it has a high alkaline pH, and the hot processed soap, it depends on the formula still though. Keep that one by the side. Maybe we'll talk about that in another video, maybe some other time. But let's come back to the shower gels, the ones that are made with surfactants. The surfactants that are formulated in that liquid soap are highly stripping surfactants. They have the tendency of stripping the skin of its moisture. Therefore it can affect your moisturizing factor, if especially your moisturizer does not have the full capacity to moisturize your skin. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. If you don't understand, just drop whatever it is you have to drop in the comment section. And there's something, okay, I'll do that separately in a different video where I'll speak about super fat, because that one is also another explanation on its own. If I say I'll put in this video, it will be too long, all right? And I want you guys to watch this video to the end. Thank you so much. Subscribe if you like the content I put out here. I do have professional courses on cosmetic science and cosmetic studies for products used on your skin and hair. So basically cosmetic products for skin and hair care purposes. Consultations are also available. Then I have a brand itself. I have products that I sell. If you watch my video from the beginning to the end, I don't remember ever using any other product that does not belong to my product line. So thank you so much. I'm a content creator. My name is Asma Azukari. If you watch this point, God bless you, and I hope to leave you in the best of health. Thank you and bye.